So let's have a look at my get home bag. And apparently it's kitten approved or cat approved. I set it there and he jumped right on top of it. It's nice to know my get home bag is a great place to clean yourself. So let's talk about get home bags. So let me show you my get home bag. Sit there, it's a camelback. That's it. Extra cushioning in the backpack. Um, in here, I carry a complete brand new Sawyer System in there. Is what I carry with a bag. So I don't even carry anything in here. Nothing. And if I open that, you'll see where the bladder is. You know. Now I've had this for years. Really have. And that's my get home bag. A lot of people go, "You're crazy." Well, no, I'm not crazy. Nope, not crazy. Um, Everywhere I go is 2 to 3 hours drive. When I go get groceries or when I go someplace, that is 99%. Even when I take the wife to the doctor's, everything is a 2 to 3 hour drive. So I'm looking at an easy 10 to 12 hour walk home. I want to be light. I want to be able to move quickly, and I want to stay hydrated. Food's not important. And I want to stay light on my feet. Now, I also have other things in my vehicle, a pocket knife, a keychain with certain things on them. I would scavenge my vehicle and think, what do I really need to get home in the next 3 hours? Do I need any of this stuff when I get home? I always take a 2.5 gallon jug of water with me. And that stays in my vehicle. Now, before I leave, I give it a shake. I fill it up with water and back and it goes. Now, every now and then, once a month, I'll put some dabs of bleach in and give it a good shake and dump it out and then rinse it out and then fill it up again. So that way nothing builds up inside of it. But every time I leave my house, I have 2.5 gallons of water right in the back seat if I ever need it. And my so-called get home bag is super light. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. Now, if it's winter time, I will have a winter coat in the back. That is for the temperature of me walking from my body heat. Now, if you're in Las Vegas or you're in desert or you're in these places, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you carry a wagon, maybe 20 gallons of water, and you'd have to figure out how much of that you need to get you to where you're going. But in Tennessee, it's God's country. All we have is trees, water everywhere, and it's just unbelievable. You don't need some big 50-pound backpack. You really don't. That is my complete get home bag. The objective is to get home as quickly as possible, stay hydrated, and be moving. And that's strictly what it's for. Now, when I do leave the area and I do go someplace that, I'm now driving 12 hours and that type of thing, my big backpack now goes in the back. And because I'm definitely going to be sleeping. And I'm definitely going to have to stay away from the bugs. Now, a truck driver might have a larger, elaborate system. But for the average Joe, the average person, they really don't need much more. Change of shoes is important, especially if you're change of shoes is important, especially if you're a female that works in an office. You don't want to be walking any amount of time in high heels. You want to consider what you're wearing, even maybe a change of clothes. You know, open the back doors, throw a blanket on, you make a quick change, and now you got your walking clothes and you're ready to go. And that's important to keep in mind. I do have a change of shoes in my vehicle, also a pair of boots, and they're actual hiking shoes. Sometimes I'm wearing Crocs. I get lazy. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be walking in Crocs. That wouldn't be very comfortable. I'd rather be wearing my hiking shoes. So those are in there in case I got to throw them on. Now, the same thing applies to the people in my vehicle. I have my 27-year-old son and I have my wife. And I've asked them directly, proper change of clothes and decent pair of footwear. Now, my son, he's always wearing runners, so he's pretty much good to go. But my wife doesn't. My wife wears dresses. She wears all kinds of different clothes at times. Now, she's not required to carry anything. She doesn't have to carry a pack. She don't have to carry water. She don't have to carry nothing. All she's got to carry is the weight of her body and get her butt home. That's it. I got enough water for everybody. And that's all there is to it. Because we have so much water here for me to filter, there's nothing for them to carry. They really don't need to carry anything. The whole objective is for us to get ourselves back to the bunker and get ready for what's coming next. And that's what we have to do. So I got one tiny get home bag for 3 people, and that's what I'm running. You have to decide what works for you. But I'm going light and dirty, and that's all there is to it. If you feel like you need some 50-pound bag, you're going overkill. And you're basically just going to kill yourself. I mean, it's hard enough if you got to walk home. If I got to walk home in July or August in Tennessee, that is going to be hard. You figure we're talking 105 degrees Fahrenheit, high humidity, 60, 70%. I mean, literally, as soon as you step out of that vehicle, you are soaking wet from sweating. It is unbelievable how hot we get here in this state. Texas is the same. So water is going to be a big key. I carry a shamag also in the vehicle. That'll be around my neck so I could be wiping my forehead and make it somewhat more comfortable. But it's going to be a rough walk. I mean, it's going to be 10 hours, 12 hours in high humidity, high heat. And yeah, you're going to have to pace yourself. You're going to have to take breaks under shade trees. When I do come to a water source, you're going to have to wet yourself down. I mean, you're really going to have to think about what you're doing because your enemy is going to be the heat here in Tennessee. But it might not be in other places like Minnesota, or it might be a nice cool day for walking home because Minnesota's weather is a whole lot nicer in the summer. But if it's in the winter and it's minus 40 below, and I've been in Minnesota when it's been minus 40 below. I used to live there. Your system is going to be totally different. You're going to be carrying some heavy duty winter coats, boots, gloves. I mean, you're going to be bundled up. You're going to be carrying a lot of weight to stay warm. And maybe you will need a stove to melt some snow to have something to hydrate yourself with. And note, when you melt snow, you just don't throw it inside your container and melt it. You'll burn the snow. You have to add a little bit of water and then start adding your snow when you melt it. But as you can see, everybody's so-called get-home bag is going to change depending on where you are, whether it's the desert, Minnesota, Tennessee. I mean, you have to look at your location, what your weather's like, and what's the lightest you can go. And some people, like people in Minnesota, especially if it's wintertime, they have to really layer their clothing and have great clothing because that's basically going to keep them alive. Frostbite can happen very quickly. Not something I need to worry about in Tennessee, thank God. But think about what your environment's like and what you got to deal with. And that's key. But you don't need some 50-pound get-home bag. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on it. It just needs some basic items on what you're dealing with the weather and you walking home. That's it. Keep it simple. And as light as possible so you can get home as quickly as possible. Because you got people at home waiting for you. And that's key. And remember, you can put things in your vehicle. Now, for a lot of people, winter's just setting in, fall's kicking in, and not here. We're in a heat wave. But you should have some form of heavy-duty sleeping bag in the back of your vehicle. If need be, and you do go down somewhere, it will come in handy if you pull that sleeping bag out and you cover everybody up and use body heat to keep warm. It just might save your life. So keep your get-home bags light, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.